Congratulations! You've stumbled upon a secret level, one of the highest quality short films among 15, featuring Warhammer 40K. In the world of Warhammer 40K, war never stops, just like the power armor of the Space Marines. Humanity's courage is tested endlessly. The Imperium must select the bravest from the strongest and forge their fears into obedience, obedience into faith. Only such individuals can become Space Marines. One of them is known as Old Man among the Astartes. Despite his nickname, he is far older than he appears. Judging by the 4 purity seals on his armor, he is likely several centuries old. These seals are marks of honor, symbolizing his combat prowess. Every Space Marine undergoes genetic enhancement, and in theory, they could live for thousands of years. Old Man recalls an event from centuries ago when he selected a young boy as a recruit. The boy, wielding a massive sword, gripped it with bloodied hands. His face was filled with rage, yet devoid of fear. A warrior like that is both an asset and a threat. What if he one day turns against them? Snapping back to the present, Old Man is about to embark on a mission. Destroy the enemy stronghold. Call in an orbital strike. The plan seems straightforward, but the mission is a guaranteed suicide run. Their squad consists of only 4 members, Old Man, 2 elite warriors, and one you might have heard of, Titus. As they march forward, the massive combat walkers move with unshakable resolve. Titus carries a wooden crate on his back, its contents unknown for now. The entire regiment salutes them in silence. Without looking back, they launch in drop pods, crashing straight into the battlefield. Drop pods are a standard deployment method for Space Marines, but they are also a weapon. They hit the ground at over 12,000 kilometers per hour, capable of obliterating buildings upon impact. Today's enemy, Chaos Cultists, a mere few hundred soldiers facing 4 Space Marines. Yet, instead of surrendering, the cultists launch the first attack. The first wave consists of motorized infantry. They fire their weapons, but charging into power armor on a bike is no different from ramming into a tank. The second wave is foot soldiers. The long take is absolutely stunning. This is the true essence of Space Marines. No unnecessary movements, just brutal efficiency. When you've been killing for centuries, you too can fight like them. The third wave, a heavily armored vehicle. Its main weapon is a heavy machine cannon, tearing through everything in its path. Even the mighty Space Marines can only take cover behind shield plates. Titus says nothing, he simply charges forward. The enemy deploys another vehicle to intercept him. What kind of vehicle? Let's take a closer look. Titus leaps onto it, raises his weapon, and blows everything to pieces. But in his aggression, he completely forgets his mission, to protect the wooden crate. Old Man hands it back to him, his silent helmeted stare filled with reproach. A place corrupted by chaos. The squad reaches the edge of a massive crater. The ground beneath them pulses unnaturally. Their purity seals begin to burn away, a sign of severe warp corruption. These seals were blessed by the chaplains to protect against corruption. The fact that they are burning away means this place is deeply tainted. But what exactly is chaos? Understanding the warp. In the Warhammer universe, there exists a warp space, similar to hyperspace in Star Wars, allowing for faster-than-light travel. But the warp is more than just a travel method. It is a dimension of pure energy, where the emotions and thoughts of all living beings gather and swirl chaotically. This swirling mass of emotions eventually gave birth to the Chaos Gods, who influence and corrupt mortals, turning them into servants of chaos. Descending into the abyss, the Space Marines slide down the crater walls, weapons at the ready. As they land, the very laws of physics distort around them, most likely due to warp energy leakage. Then, out of the darkness, emerge warp beasts, massive, 4-limbed monsters of pure terror. For an ordinary person, these creatures would be nightmares made flesh. For a Space Marine, just another target. The final revelation. They finally reach the deepest part of the crater. Titus opens the wooden crate. Inside lies a psyker. What is a psyker? Psykers are humans with psychic abilities, capable of sensing, interacting with, and even manipulating the warp. This particular psyker is crucial to the mission. His warp-based abilities will be the key to summoning and confronting the final boss. A massive chaos-infested abomination. This subspace battle is quite interesting, so let me try to explain it. Although zero-energy users can defend against zero-energy attacks, they can still be taken down instantly by a surprise attack with enough force. He launched a Ling-Long attack on the 4-star warriors, freezing time in the real world. What followed was a hallucination. The first warrior saw a powerful battle frame inside his mind. But just as he thought it was interesting, he was pulled out of the illusion. In reality, he appeared fragile in front of the masked archer, who crushed his skull with one hand, killing him instantly in the real world. These hallucinations are full of symbolic meaning, and you can interpret them however you like. In short, this warrior was strong but had a weak will, so he was taken out at his weak point. Now for the second warrior. At this point, the hallucination directly showed his death in a way that was visually dramatic but conceptually straightforward. The third one was an old man with advanced mental techniques, allowing him to enter his own consciousness. His illusion showed himself and a boy full of suffering but unaware of fear. As the boy grew into a man and became a star warrior, his battle frame kept evolving, eventually forming a mixed shield. But that boy, a cultural assassination took place within the old man's mind, and in the real world, he collapsed on the spot. This hallucination had a clear meaning. His will wasn't weak, but he was haunted by the fear that the boy he once knew would one day become humanity's greatest enemy. Because his will was stronger than the previous two warriors, he didn't die, he was only severely injured. Now, only Titus remained. What happened to him? In his illusion, he saw a young boy with golden energy. The boy did not retreat when a missile came flying at him. Instead, he took a bold step forward. Step by step, he grew into a man, then into a star warrior, right within the hallucination. But in reality, he launched a counterattack at the same time. This scene was brilliant, not just visually but in terms of the story. It turns out that Titus was actually the boy the old man had chosen long ago. Realizing the situation was bad, the enemy tried to flee, splitting himself in two to escape in different directions, like a typical straight man's approach to running away. At that very moment, two events happened simultaneously. Titus activated his coordinate-based orbital strike. By the end of this mission, 4 star warriors had fallen, 2 were seriously injured, and 1 was left standing. The cost was devastating. Chaos erupted, and the enemy's minions swarmed in. The old man suggested retreating but didn't leave immediately. You see the rain falling from the sky? Since it won't hurt us, why not just enjoy it? He looked at Titus's back, seemingly transported back to the day they first met. That day, Titus was covered in blood, carrying the head of an enemy crab-like creature. He stepped forward with his blade, thinking about what he had to do next, unable to hold back his excitement as he broke into a run.